MGM has actually had a really nice bounce back, Fat Man Zoom, from its correction. It went all up to $45 and then corrected all the way down to around $37 a share, and then has bounced back quite nicely. And your favorite pattern on the daily charts here is present, and that is the cup and handle pattern. Looks pretty bullish here. Well, MGM will be presenting to JP Morgan's investor event tomorrow, and maybe we'll get some preliminary numbers as to what kind of activity we're seeing from sports betting. I mean, it's the first week of football from the NFL standpoint, and this looks great. I think that the setup certainly is there for a potential bull move. We get up above 45.34. That is the all-time high there. I think that this definitely could continue to run, and that goes for all of the sports betting stocks, DraftKings, Penn National. You guys know we love Penn, but MGM is definitely a solid one as well. If Penn's not your thing and you're not sure about DraftKings, MGM has the best balance sheet, hands down, over all casinos, and their sports book is growing quite nicely as well. Now, I will say, one downfall of MGM Sportsbook is that they are not yet net positive on their revenue. So they're spending a lot of money to get their advertising out and marketing out there, all that good stuff. So they haven't yet turned a profit on this, but I think that that could happen sooner rather than later. And this weekend could be the start of that.
Yeah, MGM, one of the Fat Man Zoom specials. So one I certainly have, and I've loved for a long time. Man, I wish I knew how much revenue they generated because Las Vegas now has a football team specifically MGM, because that's bringing a ton of football fans that come in. MGM has the largest presence. And so for them to get people into their BetMGM, just all those travelers that are coming the fans coming for football games that are getting exposure to MGM and then going back home and still potentially using MGM is great for them as like a top of the funnel mechanism. So I can't imagine how much money much more it brings in, but it's got to be tens of millions, hundreds of millions when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Las Vegas to have a football team for that.
I mean, the NFL is definitely one thing, but college football is also a huge, there's a lot of betting that goes on in college football. The amount, I don't know if I'm sure you did. The crowds that I saw at some of the college football games this weekend was just like insane. I mean, the hype is back, bro. I mean, we talk about pent up demand, and you just saw it firsthand. A lot of those college games, it was wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's at capacity, which is 2019 essentially. So, it looks like it. I mean, it's once college football is back, that's great. NFL, obviously, icing on the cake. So should be a great year for sports betting. Excited to see how that plays out. More states coming. So we'll see these companies are spending so much money because they're trying to sort of win the race of customer acquisition. So over time, you should see companies like MGM who have a brick and mortar presence. They should be able to let off the throttle a little bit as far as the advertising is concerned. But Penn's had the same thing. Penn's like, we could be profitable if we wanted to. They're spending money in different ways, but you just got to win the arms race in the beginning, and then you got to keep them after that.